Hey everyone, I'm Amanda from Mandolin Plans. Welcome back to my channel for another video. Today I will be taking a look at the Enso Water Brush Pens by Pilot. So this is a pack of brush pens that I think is a little less well known than some of the other markers that I've already taken a look at. So in this set, it's an 8-pen set. There are 7 extra fine, and those are the colored ones here. And then there's one bold brush pen, and that is the black. So taking a look at the back here, there's a red, orange, blue, green, pink, and brown of the extra fine, and then a black, the bold. So here are little things that you can do on the side. It looks like they use the watercolor on the back and then use the bold to letter over. I don't think that's how I'm going to use these though. I think I'm just going to use the colored ones to hand letter as well. So let's go ahead and see what they're like. So it does come with this little piece of paper. It was the outside covering. So it gives you a couple of different fonts that you can use. It says it's ideal for the extra fine brush pen up here, and then ideal for the big bold brush pen. So it doesn't look like they recommend doing the fancy loops and things with this bold marker, and that makes sense. And then it also gives you a little bit of information about brush pen technique if you are new to brush lettering, and some things to remember. So that's very helpful. If you are new to brush lettering, this could be a great set for you to get. All right, so looking at the pens themselves, they have a lot of Japanese on them. There is a little ink window that's really handy so that you can see how much ink you have left in your marker. They have a great strong clip. That's really handy. The only English that I see on this is Pilot, so I'm not sure what all the rest of this is, but I'm excited to go ahead and take a look at them. They do have a very, very fine point. Just to compare them to a couple of the other pens that I had, this is the Tombow Funasuki, so it's quite a bit thicker. And then of course it's going to be much, much smaller than the Tombow dual tip brush pen. So, and I will show the difference in size now. So let's see what this is like. So this is, okay, so yes, this is much smaller. So it's gonna take my hand a little bit getting used to that. So that is this extra fine here. Let's compare it to the Funasuki. My hand is a little shaky today. I had a nice big cup of coffee, so that probably is to blame. Okay, so there's the Funasuki, and then here is the Pentel touch sign pen, and this I think is going to be the closest in comparison to the size, but I think it is still going to be a little bit bigger. So let's see it, try and do it right up on it. Yeah, so just a little bit bigger. I'm going to go ahead and write Pentel here. So very similar in size to that. And then of course it's going to be much, much smaller than the Tombow. And I'm not even going to finish writing Tombow. Okay, great. So there was the red. Let's take a look at this brown. Brown is not necessarily my go-to color for a lot of my projects, so I'm not sure how much this will get used. I didn't notice that sound on the red one. Maybe it was there and I just wasn't paying attention. But this does have that same sound that the Tombows have. Okay, and let's take a look at one more color before we move to my swatch page of my Hobonichi. Just a green here. Let's do it down here. Yeah, so much, much finer. My hand is maybe starting to get a little bit used to it. Maybe not. I always find that each marker that you use, it always just takes a little bit to get the hang of, and then switching back and forth can be a challenge sometimes. All right, so let's go ahead and swatch them up in my Hobonichi. Actually, before we do that, I did forget that I wanted to test out this bold one too. So this bold, it is still quite a bit smaller than a Tombow, so I think it should just be right in the middle, maybe of these two. So we will see how that compares. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is interesting. The tip, like, completely, I don't know if you can even see that. But whenever you press down, you're using just the very tip that's, or the, like the tail end that's closest to the point where it connects, and the tip itself isn't even on the page anymore. This is very interesting. And it actually might be just as thick as the Tombow. No, not quite. Huh, interesting. And it leaves this little, like that's where the tip is. Whenever you pull it up, like it leaves a little mark. Huh. I'm not sure if I will ever use this one. I'm not super crazy about it. It will definitely take more practice to get used to it for sure, but not my favorite pen to work with. So I am a little bit sad that there isn't a purple, but that's okay. I'm just gonna write Enso, and there's a little above the O. And then I'm just gonna write Pilot, just so I know. All right, so now let's go ahead and get into the swatching. I love to do this next to other swatches or close enough so that I compare the color differences. I can always tell how much more I prefer writing on this Tomoe River paper as opposed to my computer paper. Now this is high quality computer printer paper. It's 32 pound, but there's just nothing smoother than this Tomoe River paper. And so it always just glides right on, and I love that. There's also no yellow, but you can hardly see the yellow. Like this Funnosuke Colors has a yellow and you can barely even read it. So I'm not sad that there's not a yellow. All right, so there we have it. You can see how awkward this bold marker is. It's just very, I don't know, it's unlike any other brush marker that I've used. It's very, very interesting. I really love how vibrant these colors are. If you watched my video with the Funnosuke Colors by Tombow, you heard me talk about being a little bit disappointed at the lack of vibrancy in these colors, but these colors are really, really pretty. And I think that having them next to each other, you can really see the difference. And so I'm excited about that. So I'm really excited to play around more with these and use them in some of my projects. So what do you think? Have you ever tried these before? Or are you interested in checking them out now that I've compared them to some of the other markers that I have? I would love to know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.